Good afternoon, race fans. Tonight we have a great race lined up for you, the McCullough Motorsports Money Racing Series at Talladega Motor Speedway in the Truck Series. Currently our track temp's looking at a solid 77 degrees Fahrenheit with a 75-degree outside weather. It's going to be a normal day out here, just pretty normal standard conditions. No super hot tracks. I don't think the tires are going to have any worries today. Kevin, your thoughts on the race today?
Yeah, they got one fast repair. I think that's the name of the game, keeping your car clean, out of trouble. It's 40 laps. There's going to be wrecks. But after that fast repair is gone, there's really nothing you can do. So the name of the game is going to be keeping it clean, keeping near the front. Lots of time, but not too much time. What do you think?
I have to agree with you here. I mean, we have quite a lot of talent spread throughout the track here today. I mean, let's go and take a look at our starting lineup here for the night.
Yep.
Looky there. Very, very tight on the qualifying there. Got a feeling it is going to be a good one here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like they are off.
Yeah, no doubt it's going to be a close race.
Oh, looks like we got a little bit of contact here, leaving the initial pace lap. Avery Watkins getting into it. Michael Windigo appears to have jumped the pits there.
Yeah, let's take a look at our grid. We have on the pole, we have Daniel Fulkingham, followed by Cody Niegels, then David Flanagan, then Glambrone, then on the third row we have Veliky and Huerta. Fourth row is going to be Hastings and Cassinger, followed by McCullough and Osborne. Then we have Miller and Dice, and that's going to be our top 12.
We are in for a good one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Like I did comment on, a lot of good talent here to start the grid. We have a lot of very high-class drivers out here tonight, representing all different kinds of car manufacturers. Let's go take a look at the different car manufacturers we got on the grid here tonight. So we got two Chevys starting up front, followed by a Ford, three more Toyotas, and two Chevys. Kevin, your thoughts on the car manufacturer choice of the night and where they started off here on the grid?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. I know a lot of these guys are going to push each other just from past relations. There's going to be a lot of team racing. I know a lot of these guys are good friends with each other. I don't think manufacturer is going to be a huge play. I think these guys know who they want to draft with before this one starts.
I'm going to have to agree with you here, and it looks like we're getting ready to go out of turn number 4. We're ready to get her going here tonight. Pace car is in.
Pace car is in, and we're going to get underway with Fulkingham leading us off in the Geico restart zone. And let's hope to keep it clean for at least the beginning stages of this race. You know, you want to jump the gun, but you don't want to jump the gun too much.
There's the Geico restart, and off they go.
Gotta go green here at Talladega at the MMS Truck Series. And we are not green.
A minute, it appears.
Alright. A little technical difficulty. Looks like we're going to have one more pace lap.
Bit of a delayed start, it seems.
And I'm sure they're talking through this in the, the driver relations and on the microphone. Just stuff we can't hear as far as when the start's going to be. Stuff like that. But this is definitely not as fast as they can go.
Definitely not. And here they go. We hear those engines revving up, and it looks like they're going to go off the straightaway down on the back end. And off
Letting
they
every
go.
car catch up. We know a couple of them had those wrecks under pace laps, so I'm sure they were just letting them catch up. Sorting their P's and Q's, but we are underway as they have gotten into high gear as Fulkingham is leading us into turns 3 and 4 with Niegels following. Then Flanagan and, what is that, Gambrone in 3 and 4. We're running 2x2 right now.
That outside line's going to get a bit of momentum here.
Eagles takes the lead.
You know, with 40 laps here to go, Kevin, you don't expect to see too much intense racing right off the rip here. I expect these drivers to kind of sit back, play it safe, be a bit more conservative here for these opening laps. I don't think they want to test things too early, especially with the limited amount of fast repairs I believe we have on the night. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
No, I agree, but I will say there is money on the line. And when there's money on the line, that makes people do crazy things. And crazy they will do. I would not be surprised to see this one go 3, maybe even 4 wide near the end.
You never know.
Any schemes you're looking at? Any paint schemes that are catching your eye this race?
I'll tell you what, one that's really catching my eye right there is the one we're currently watching right now, the number 39, Daniel Falkingham, the Fig Newton car. The Toyota, or the Chevy, Fig Newton. Oreo Blitz as well. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, I don't know about schemes, but I know our chat box is showing some fans of Aubrey Thompson. That's the Chevy 42 car.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see if she can deliver tonight.
And it looks like they're going to be 3 wide here. That third line forming.
Third line is forming. And lots of laps to go. We are going to need to pit. I think we're going to need 2 pits to get to the end of this one. So you don't really want to do too much, but you also have been given the gift of a fast repair in your back pocket if things get out of control and you need it.
This is true, and just a quick look at our pit strength right here. Nothing really showing off the main go. I mean, you know, still very, very early on in this race. They don't really have too much to worry about here, but it's something they're going to have to think about here later on in this race. So far, staying pretty clean in this 3-line racing, I will say.
I agree.
That 13 car going to take down low. It's going to be the number 13 of David Flanagan.
A little bit of back and forth in 39 Oreo car of Falkingham, but he sorts it out as that high line loses some momentum. Not what you want to see if you're running on that high line, but definitely clears things up a little bit. And how about that Alamo car?
I was just going to say, Kevin, just to get back on your comment earlier, I was going to mention the King of the Hill car. I do really, really like that paint scheme.
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby, that is one sick paint scheme.
That's the 5 car of Hastings, if I am correct. Yeah, 2x2 racing, Flanagan in the lead. We have seen a little bit of fall off for Yembron, who started on the front row, I think. But other than that, how about Cody Niegels? I know he started up front. He's fallen down to 8.
Yeah, falling back here.
Just playing his cards safe, maybe playing early.
Looks like he's going to go to make that third line now. Cody Niegels making the third line happen here. 3 wide at Talladega here at the start of lap number 6.
Yeah, actually, I think that's I think it's a good move. I think the third line has a lot of speed if you can, you know, make it have a lot of speed. You're gonna need more than 3 cars, but you know, if you can run it even as well as the lines 1 and 2, then I think it's the line to beat right now, honestly.
That just may be. Only time will tell. Man, oh man, I don't know if it's just me, but Talladega, easily one of my favorite tracks. 3 wide racing, and it just continues on forever, so as long as the driver's prohibited, of course. But man, oh man, I love me some 3, even 4 wide racing.
And you know, it's just a mystery. You never know what's going to happen at Talladega. You could throw a monkey in the car, and I honestly think that they would have a chance to run up front just due to what can happen in these races. Anything.
Well said, Kevin, well said.
Flanagan's still running up front. It's been mixed up a little bit with Veliki now taking his first lead of the race. But Falkingham and Flanagan both staying right up there towards the front. Looking like strong cars so far in this one. We're 7 laps in.
Ooh, and the 14 dipping a little low below the yellow line there, just for a second, but looks like he recovered pretty fine.
Yeah, and Huerta making big moves. I know he started around, I want to say 8th or 9th place. He's made it up to P5. He's made the right decision so far. Who do you think the car to beat is after watching 8 laps in this one, Luke?
You know, honestly, it's kind of hard not to go with David Flanagan. He's really been holding a commanding lead here for a while, really putting his driving on display here tonight. That's going to be my pick for the starting half of this race, Kevin. How about yourself?
Yeah, you know, I agree. I think Flanagan's got a fast car, but you know, there's a lot of people that have made moves that have helped them, and then you know, those same moves have kind of hurt them. I think a good example of that would be the 49 car of GM Brown. He's you know, holding out there, going back and
let's
forth.
go on board that car.
Let's do it. He's running that outside line, and you know, he's back and forth. He's been as high as second, maybe even the lead, but right now he's running 5th behind the Orioles car.
And look at that, full throttle out almost in 4th gear, almost 190 miles an hour. These cars really open up.
They do. Yeah, and he's given the Oreo car a little bit of more room than, you know, you would imagine. As, you know, the cars are shifting up to the second line to the first line. Yeah, a little bit of rubbing racing.
You'd love to see it out here at Talladega.
Yeah, and he's topping out at 194, 195.
I saw 200 on the dash there for a second.
Yeah, I think that might have been a visual bug. I don't think they're quite at 200 in these trucks, but
you never know with this much draft.
You never know.
2 cars coming down from that high line. It's going to be Joe Huerta and David Flanagan coming back down onto that low line after taking it up high for a while.
Yeah, and this is going to be Huerta's first lead of the race, and I think he's today's biggest mover so far, as he has made his way up into the pack. I mean, just looking incredible so far. Maybe dare I say, a perfect race so far for the 14 car, as he's just pierced through the field. And guess who's back? Cody Niegels. As he fell back to 8th or 9th place, he's made his way back into the 5th spot, and he's looking fast.
Man, oh man. That King of the Hill car sure does stand out.
That it does. Maybe my favorite scheme of the night.
Tried saying it might be mine as well. Daniel Falkingham going to get his taste of the lead here in that 39 Fig Newton Chevy.
And Niegels up into 3rd, like I was just saying, he's making his move. He's coming back up. I know he's got a lot of experience in these MMS money races. I've seen him around. I know he knows what he's doing. Speaking of the MMS, the McCullows are about staying steady. I know they've got a lot of experience. I know they know what they need to do to win. A lot of wins between the two of them. I think, honestly, they're just holding out. They know a wreck's gonna happen. It's not a maybe. A caution is gonna come here. So I think they're staying steady on their inside line, just waiting for it to happen.
I'm gonna have to agree
trying
with
to
you.
avoid it.
Here we are on board the number 10, Joshua McCullough.
Maybe he just wants to stay there and look at that King of the Hill scheme.
I wouldn't blame him, man. That is one sexy bumper sticker. Like I was saying, some very, very clean racing thus far. We have a lot of very talented drivers out here on the track.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and as you can look at the map in the top right, they are literally all stacked together. I mean, it's not often you see that. You know, a car or two will make a mistake, go into the line, fade off usually, but every single car has kept it clean and kept themselves in this race so far. Over a quarter of the way in, that's not only surprising, but impressive.
I have to agree with you there, Kevin. This line is staying strong.
Luke, as far as the statistics go, who do you think is the strongest contender in this race coming into the race?
You know, it really isn't a question. Daniel Falkingham with an I rating of almost 7,900, almost blast the second contender. Cody Niegels, who just took the lead, out of the water. The close second is, like I said, Cody Niegels with a 5,400. But yeah, by far, Daniel Falkingham is by far our highest rated driver here tonight. So he is by far the
I've got to agree.
choice.
And I don't want to cut you off. I know I asked the question, but I do gotta say, Cody Niegels is back in the lead.
That he is.
After a miraculous run from the outside line back to the end, he's made his way back into first, and he's actually being pushed by the man of the hour, Daniel Falkingham.
Looks like the 49, Josh Gamborn, sorry. They're starting to make a line there, but starting to fade off here going into turn 2.
Yeah, Niegels running out front with Falkingham still in second, but GM Brown is still in this one. I was saying he kind of faded off. He was running P6, but he's back hovering around 3 and 4. He's made his way back into it. And how about Wingo? We haven't talked much about Michael Wingo, but the reason he stands out to me is he is at a 1,098 I rating, which is the lowest in the race, and yet he's still running top 10. I know me and you, Luke, we're not the best iRacers, so how do you get into the top 10 and stay into the top 10 if you have a little less experience, a little less reputation in these money races?
It's funny you comment there on the reputation side of this. Joining one of these money races might seem all fun and games, but joining some of these, there's a lot of already well-established teams, so joining by yourself, and even with just one friend, you won't have as many draft partners out here as many of those big names. And it looks like we're going to see some early pits here. Oh, and the number 8.
Number 8 goes a little bit sideways. I think he holds onto it when the pits come in.
Oh, no, he's in the grass.
No, he doesn't. He's in the grass, and not what you want to see out of the number 8. And that's going to be Sterling Thice, yes.
Yes,
not what you want to see early on, but I don't see any damage. I don't think you count yourself out if that happens. It's unfortunate, but you're going to stay on the lead lap. And honestly, you're going to lose the pack, but you just got to hope for that caution that I still, honest to God, believe will come soon.
And there's the race out of the pits.
Yeah, and the number 8 just... Everyone leaving the pits, and he's just now getting his left wheels up, so unfortunate for him, but could have been much worse as we're staying green here at Talladega.
Jumping back to the leaders here, Daniel Falkingham coming into the pits now, that second group. We're going to see how
yes, they are, and that's going to be most of the leaders, including Falkingham, Niegels, GM Brown, Veliki, McCullough, Hastings, Wingo, Nebel, and Thice. I suppose Thice is just still in the pits. But that second group coming in...
They're coming in hot. They're going to make
very
these pits
clean.
fast.
As you look at your map, it's going to be a race. See if Falkingham can get out and get up to speed before the second line, led by Huerta, actually, is coming through.
Here they go, leaving the pits.
Leaving the pits. I think they're going to have them.
Man, just looking at the map, it's going to be close.
They're getting up to speed, going up through the gears as fast as they can. They're on their horse, single file.
Second group entering the turn.
Forward. Now, another thing you got to worry about, will the merge at least keep them all in the same draft? Because if it does, then it's not a huge deal who gets out first, but if it doesn't, that could be the race.
Very well might be. And it's going to be almost single file coming out here. A little bit of space there between the 12 and 15 positions, it seems, but...
Yeah, and Falkingham's staying in the lead here, as I think he is now up to speed. Niegels giving him good pushes, GM Brown on him. That first pit group is led by Huerta, if you remember, so they're about 1.35 seconds back, but they're gaining. They do have a lot of draft. I think more people pit the first time around, so they're going to catch them pretty easily. And I like this camera. We're looking at Daniel Falkingham, as he's just trying to keep his lead, keep it straight. Him and Niegels know what they're doing. They've been through these situations time and time again. It's all going to come down to, if the other pack catches, what will the other pack do with it? Will they take a high line and will they try to make something happen, or will they just fall in line with the Falkingham, Niegels, and the rest and just make it single file? As a broadcaster, I don't like to see the single file racing as much. What about you, Luke?
I'm going to have to agree with you here. Like I said earlier in this race, I'm personally a big fan of 3, even 4-wide racing, especially on a big track like Talladega. I want to see some more lines.
I agree, and, when that happens, it does put the drivers' races at risk, but it can also be, well, more rewarding than just the single file racing that we're seeing right now. And that second line, led by Huerta, has caught. They're about less than half a second back. They're in the draft. So we're going to see what happens. I would assume we're going to go at least a second line getting going here in the next couple laps. But we're just going to have to wait and see.
No lap traffic in sight for them. It's going to be clean racing for them up front here.
Yeah, the 77 seems to be a little off pace. And that would be Michael Miller.
Yeah, he just seems like he's kind of stranded out there by himself. Look at that.
Might have been some pit issues or something, but yeah, he's out there by himself, and he is currently the last one on a lead lap. And then we have one driver a lap down, and that's going to be Dice, who had the pit issues we looked at earlier.
Back to our leaders here. Still single file, and it's still Daniel Falkingham leading there. Like I said, I think it's that I rating and the high-class driving showing at this current moment in the race with 21 to go left in Talladega.
Yeah, and can you remind me which McCullough we're looking at in P5 in the one car?
That's going to be Joshua. That would be Joshua.
Joshua? Yeah, he's looking good. He's made it from P9 to P5. He was part of that second group that pit. I think that was the way to go, and I think it's rewarded him pretty nicely because he's now in the top 5.
Here we are on board Joshua McCullough, number 1 in his Chevy.
Yeah, and I would like to point out that we are about 5 miles per hour slower than we were when they were all running together. So it really does make a big difference whether it's the whole pack racing together or a couple smaller packs. As he's staying tight on the bumper of the car in P4.
You can hear that easy throttle discipline right there. That's crucial on these high draft tracks like Talladega.
Yeah, you don't want to brake check the person behind you necessarily, but you don't want to just let off the gas. You don't want to let the person in front of you get too much room. That's when the accordion effect starts happening and your line starts losing too much time.
Can even lead to someone getting stranded, such as the 77 back there, Michael Miller.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, but we also have a group. What is that group back there? Is that the 91 that we're seeing go in the tri-oval right now?
Let's see, that's going to be on board the number 1, Michael Wingo. Yep, there they are. There's that second group making their way across the start-finish. It's going to be Michael Wingo, that low-class driver you commented on earlier, just barely staying out of a top 10 in P11 right now.
Yeah, that line, I'm not quite sure what happened to them that made them get that far back. Probably a few cars that got stacked up behind Dice on that botched pit.
I was going to say, yeah, that botched pit probably had something to do with it. But yeah, they are losing time on those leaders rapidly.
We got 5 of them back there, and they are losing time. The caution's due, though. I tell you what, I've been saying it all race, and I still believe that a caution's going to come. These cars really aren't racing right now, I'd say. I'd say they're not just joyriding out there, but they're not making it super competitive right now. They're just getting their laps in. We are gonna have to see another pit though, Luke. You think that's gonna be a clean one?
I'm hoping so. I mean, we only had one incident last time with one Sterling Thies, but we're just hoping we go into the other ones here clean.
Yeah, I agree. And we got Falkingham, Niegels, Jim Brown, Veliki, and McCullough. We know all pit on the same strategy last time. Do you think we're gonna see that again? Do you think that was rehearsed? Do you think that was planned? Or do you think it's going to be mixed up even more on the second pit?
I think they might want to change it up here a little bit more in the second pit. I think some drivers are going to maybe hang out just a little bit longer, try to stretch out that fuel consumption so they can maybe get a few more laps in before having to take that pit. It's like I said, it is a money race with 18 laps to go. It's anybody's race, so I don't imagine people came here to lose.
I agree. Nice clean racing right now. They're going about 1.1 seconds back on that lead pack, so they're a little stretched out, I'd say. Not on each other's bumpers exactly, but definitely keeping it close enough that anybody can make anything happen at any point. And I'll ask you once again, Luke, you still think Falkingham's the car to beat here, or do you think one of those cars behind him is gonna, make something happen in these last 17 laps.
You hope so. You hope someone gives Daniel Falkingham a bit of competition here. He's been killing it out here tonight. I think your man Cody Eagles is going to be the man to give him at least a run for his money here. But Joshua McCullough making his way up into P5 now. He might even be a contender. It's still a lot of laps to go. It's still anybody's race. It's still tough to say.
Yeah, and back in that lead pack now. How about, Aubrey Thompson? A lot of fans here tonight in the chat put on a show getting into that top 10. Was running about P15 before all the pits happened. So that was a good transfer for Aubrey Thompson.
Indeed, and there she is right now, sitting behind that lovely bumper of one Hunter Hastings in that King of the Hill car, which I will comment on the whole rest of the race.
Yeah, how about we take a look of the onboard of the last car in this lead pack, when Kenny McCullough. He was a little bit in the back to begin this race, being a little conservative, but he's made his way into the top 10. He's been able to keep himself on the lead pack, good pit, and, he's just riding it out.
That he is. Man, it is just single file here going through these laps. You gotta wonder if they're gonna change it up here. The laps dwindling down.
I think they're gonna wait until that second pit comes, see what happens after that second pit. You gotta wonder if a couple of them were hoping for a couple more cautions with maybe some fuel saving going on, maybe see if they could even make it a one-pit race. But I think that ship has come and it has sailed, because there is no chance that someone's going to make it a one-pit race with as long as we stay green. We're now looking at 25 laps green. The pit window is open for who wants it. I don't think anybody's going to take it for another 5 or 6 laps, but you never know. These drivers, they converse with each other in the race. They have each other on the microphone. They know when they're going to pit. But we, as the viewer, we really have no idea. It's a guessing game when they're going to pit.
And it looks like they're actually going to be slowly approaching that number 77, that lap car, Michael Miller.
Yeah, I do think they're going to catch him with about 13 or 12 to go, but I don't think it's going to matter if they stay single file. He knows what to do. Michael Miller's probably either going to go high or go below the apron. Just let him on by once they get close enough. I don't think it's going to be too big of an issue unless these drivers decide to shake it up and go, 2 or 3 wide before they catch them. But I would be surprised to see that.
Just a look at the current speed on Michael Miller, going 75 miles per hour here, just flooring it.
175, yeah.
175, I apologize.
And it's a shame because, we know all too well, once you lose that draft, you're just a sitting duck. You're just out there, doing everything you can to get these lap times down, and you're still 10, 15 miles an hour slower, as he's going to start veering a little bit high. And we got another Cody Neagles fan in the chat, Kevin Neagles. He's looking good. He's P2 right now. But we got some single file racing as Michael Miller's going to go high and let the leaders on by.
Boy, oh boy, just a difference of speed. Look at that. 167 going into the turn for Michael Miller and almost 169 for Daniel Falkingham. That's just
89, yeah. 20 mile per hour difference. It's unreal. I think the next big event that's going to happen is going to be the second pit. I do think that's going to shake things up. There's going to be different strategies. You don't have to take all your tires and all your fuel in this race. But, you also want the fastest car. So what would you do, Luke? If you were to come into the pits, say you got about 8 laps to go, are you taking tires?
Honestly, if it were my choice, I would be playing it safe and just going with as little time as I can. I'd be saying, if I don't have to, it really just depends on the tire percentage. If I feel like I can drive it, I'm going to stick it out and take the less lap time. But it's tough to say here, but driving conditions are optimal here today in Talladega Motor Speedway. Just a look again, a 78-degree track temperature.
Here come the pits.
A little bit of contact
and they go
here.
With 12 to go. A little bit of contact on the left side, but overall, I think it's a pretty clean entrance. We saw some smoke. Someone got a little bit ahead of themselves, but other than that...
And also we have a couple cars staying out here. Daniel Falkingham and Hunter Hastings, the only 2 on the lead lap that are staying out here, and that number 77, Michael Miller, trying just to keep up with it to try to make up some time here after being stuck back for so long.
Very interesting decision by the 2 of them, and if I had to guess, what I'd say they're doing is what you just said, stay out as long as you can, so when you do come in, you don't have to take as much. You don't have to take as much fuel, you don't need tires, you can get in and get out as fast as you can. I don't, however, know if it's going to work with them only being a 3 car pit or car line. But here they come in up for their pit, 1 lap late. We're going to see what they can do.
In they go.
We do have 11 to go. All the leaders of pit now, except for a couple in the back, I think maybe. I don't think I've seen a pit out of Theiss. I might have. But overall, all the big front runners, the main pack, they've all pitted. And it's just going to be a race so you can get around first. As we're seeing on the map up top right, the leaders are coming. And they're coming with speed. And it's going to be Falkingham leading right now.
Oh, man, that pack's got
But
speed.
Neagles is going to get the pass on all of them. Neagles out front now. And guess who's, after these cycle around, guess who's going to be second? Pay attention to Josh McCullough. Because he has been piercing his way through the field all race. He's made his way into what will be second place. But he's now fighting as Huerta takes the lead. And we're on board with McCullough. He's, right behind, I think that's Cody Neagles.
You'd be correct there, Kevin.
And they got a strong pack. They've now made it double file like I assumed they would after the pits. They're ready to race. We got about 10 to go. The rest of the pits are coming. It's going to cycle through. And guess who's going to be our leader?
None other than Kenny McCullough going to be taking the lead here.
Kenny McCullough. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kenny taking the lead here.
Wow.
Joshua back in 5th, sorry.
Yeah, that is a little confusing. Kenny's on a little bit of a different strategy, as he was in the lead, but now here comes Huerta and Neagles on the inside line. Huerta comes up top with Kenny. That's going to give Neagles the bottom. Huerta leads. They're side-by-side racing. There's about 7 cars in the mix, 4 on the outside, 3 on the inside. Neagles now in front. A little bit faster in the turns for the inside line, but with the 4 cars on the outside line, I think that's the line to beat right now. And how about Falkingham? A little bit of an interesting decision by him to take that late pit. He's now 5 seconds back, didn't he? He went with one other car. I think it was, if I had to guess, it was a miscommunication between them.
There they are, that number 5, King of the Hill car we've been talking about all race, Hunter Hastings and Daniel Falkingham. Maybe they know something we don't, though. You never know. Still with 8 laps to go here.
Another potential, they could, be like, hey, we're going to stay out of that lead pack because we know a wreck's going to happen in that lead pack, and if we put ourselves 5 seconds back, there's no way we get caught up in it. That's a potential. That's a big risk, though, especially with how clean this race has been so far. But, with what would you say, a masterclass driver, expect the unexpected because they know what they're doing, probably more than either of us do.
Possibly a couple ace up their sleeves that we don't know about, but
yeah.
With going to 7 laps to go here, it's going to have to come out soon.
Cody Neagles now, huge push. And he's going to take the high line. He sees what we're seeing, the 5 cars now on the high line. Absurd speed, and he's just going to take it. And that's actually going to give McCullough the lead for now as they're going through the turns. But we're going to see what happens here on the straights because it's going to be a drag race between the 2 of them.
There's the race for the lead here. Joshua McCullough and Cody Neagles.
Man, I honestly thought that was Kenny still. They're flip-flop, they're back and forth. Kenny is still in the top 5, though the McCulloughs putting out a showing on their own racing series. Both of them in the top 5, and look who's back. It's David Flanagan. We haven't said his name in a while, but he's back into that top 5. So it's about the same 5 cars all race that have been into it. And then you got Veliki, who's been up there, GM Brown, who's been up there, Falkingham, who's been up there, all running 6, 7, 8. So if a caution does come, this is an extremely talented front top 8 or so. Top 10 or so, really. That really anybody could take it. But if it stays green, I still think, Neagles, McCullough, Huerta, Flanagan, or the other McCullough is the car to beat. Because they are looking fast. They're smart drivers. They know what they're doing. That outside line, though, man, I can't get over how many more cars they have for the inside line to keep up speed with them.
It's honestly impressive, I can't lie to you, but it appears you're going to be coming up on some lap traffic here. F1 number 2, Avery Watkins here. Might see the line shifting up here. We're coming up on that lap traffic, and Looks
They're
like
gonna go
Avery's going to go
below the
below the
8th.
yellow here and just stay out of their way and let them do their thing.
You know, that's a
very respectable thing to do there.
Very respectable thing, very veteran thing to do.
Oh, and Cody Neagles taking the inside line.
And that was unexpected. I think Cody Neagles is getting a little restless with this outside line, not moving much. But I was just about to say, McCullough and Flanagan, I know they've raced together for a long time. I know they've probably pushed together for a long time. So do you think just because they're so good at drafting with each other, that's why the inside line is keeping speed?
You have to wonder, Kevin. You have to wonder. With that much time behind the wheel together, you really do have to wonder.
And these fans are on their feet. With us going 5 to go, coming to 4. The racing is starting, Luke. The racing is starting. And we're 2 wide. I wouldn't be surprised to see a third line come at any point.
Yeah, with only 4 laps to go, I'm kind of hoping for it. I can't lie. You know I'm a big fan of 3, even 4 wide racing, especially on Talladega.
Yeah, I agree. And new viewer Mark is very passionate about non-racing activities. As we're going 4 to go, we have 9 viewers, 9 people watching, and this is going to be a tight race for these people to watch. It's going to be a good one. As McCullough stays in the lead, Cody Neagles has dropped down to 3rd. I think he's behind McCullough, if I'm not mistaken, as Huerta's on that outside line. Yeah, that's how it appears. And a little bit of bumping. Huerta and McCullough get into it, but they keep it straight. They keep it clean. I think a little bit of, you know, a little, hey, I'm here, you know.
Just letting them know you're there kind of thing. I gotcha.
3 to go, though. You know, Josh McCullough out in front, Cody Neagles in 2nd. Josh McCullough actually taking it high, giving Cody Neagles the inside, and Neagles is running with it. I mean, just explosive out of the turn.
Look at that inside line. Outside line, getting some momentum, though.
And we're going to look at this lead pack for the rest of the race. The second pack might be having some problems. You know, they've gotten down. I don't know if it's just a draft-related issue or what, but they've gotten down to 23 and 33 seconds back. Unfortunate for them, but, you know, that's the way she goes at Talladega when you don't have the draft.
Yeah, look at everyone just stranded in groups of 2, even 4.
Yeah, not what you like to see. Even the 4 line isn't gaining any speed on this main group who's coming up to some lap traffic, getting around him pretty easily. And Cody Neagles now in the lead. It's his lane to pick. He's going to take the outside. He's getting great pushes by McCullough, but he's dropping back to the inside. As we're now 2 to go. A little early to be throwing blocks. But these drivers know what they're doing. They're braking at the right times. They know when they're clear. And how about the 13 of Flanagan just chilling back? I still think he might be ready for a wreck.
He just might be.
I not only would be surprised, but once again, just absolutely impressed if we stay green through 40 laps here.
Surely one of the cleanest races I've seen, and I don't mean to jinx that in any way. This is just some very talented drivers out here. Knock on wood. This is just some very, very talented drivers out here.
And I will point out Flanagan has now closed the gap, and he is hot on the tail of the 49 of GM Brown. But McCullough out front now, looking fast. Cody Neagles on the inside, also looking very fast. As we are now on our final lap, final backstretch, let's go take a look at the chopper to cross our line. As we are going into turn 3, our lead pack, 2 by 2. As we are going across the tri-oval now, Veliky out front, McCullough drop back, and Veliky, Neagles at the line. Veliky's gonna take it. Where did he come from? Luke, I want to see a replay of that because I got lost in the map for just a second. McCullough was back in P4, and Veliky was in the lead, and he is gonna take it tonight.
And man, we got cars in the wall.
Yeah, they love to do that after the line. We get our show.
Holy cow. And let's go ahead and go take a look back here about what happened there.
I got a little caught up watching the outside line, and I think Neagles and McCullough both decided on that outside line, and the inside line just made a blitz for it. Yeah, as you see here, Neagles decides to take the outside line for the finish. He doesn't want to do a double block. He never want to do a double block, but that inside line, like we've been saying all race, just extraordinary speed, just for no reason, just shot out of a cannon comes through, and Veliky is given one. Great race. Let's take a look at the unofficial results.
Oh my!
Madness happens
And
to the
what
winner.
a wreck! And what a wreck!
Quite a shame to see the winner get totaled. You don't get to see any victory burnouts, but hey, I think he's more than happy with how that finish transpired.
Oh,
And the
absolutely.
unofficial results is going to be Landon Veliky winning this one, with GM Brony coming in second, Josh McCullough in third, Huerta in fourth, Kinney in fifth, Flanagan sixth, Falkingham seventh, Hastings eighth, Aubrey Thompson in ninth, and Cassinger in 10th. As we're going to see a wreck out of Neagles. Not what you want to see as he falls back to P12. But it was a great race, great drivers, and that's going to do it here tonight at Daytona. And we're going to go over for some interviews before we end this one. And I'm going to meet you over in the after race review room of the McCullough Motorsports Discord. And I think first we're going to talk to our winner, Landon Veliky, if we can get him over here. I'm going to go over there and ask him real quick. And Luke, I'm going to let you ask the questions to our race winner, Landon Veliky.
And holy cow, Landon Veliky, what a race there. What were your thoughts going into those final turns there? I know that bottom line didn't look super promising there for most of the race, but man, you found a way to come through there at the end. Any thoughts there at the final turns of the race?
Oh, it was a really fun race. It was really clean. I was kind of surprised at how clean it was. Usually we have wreck fest, especially when we run a car that we haven't run in a long time. And, well, sure enough, we did a clean race. And I ended up coming home the winner. I definitely wasn't expecting to win it. I was basically last in the pack, just saving all my attempts, getting everything I could towards the end, and came home the winner somehow. It was a lot of fun.
You know, I was just so impressed with I didn't even expect 20 laps to go without a caution, let alone the whole race. I know, did you have any pit strategies planned out there going into it? Possibly some cautions, or did you expect the clean racing going into the night?
I mean, I definitely didn't expect it, but there's always kind of strategies, especially when you have a really short two-stop race. Like a 40 lap, there was 15 laps to the tank, and it was 40 laps in the race, so obviously you're pitting twice. And every time that happens, there's always some sort of strategy that ends up stringing out the field every single time. And me and old Nightmare, we came home, and we ended up hanging out our old teammate, Daniel Falkingham, and I do kind of feel a little bad for it, but I'm still
that
a
was
big
your
fan of Dan,
teammate.
well, no, he used to be our teammate, but we are still allies. But we hung him out, and we just it's just how
it's
it
racing.
went.
It's racing.
It's racing.
Unfortunate events for the cars of Falkingham and Hastings, but it is what it is. Well, congratulations on the win, Landon, and thanks for the interview.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you.
And Cody Neagles, you were my pick to win it. You were running up front all day. Talk us through what happened there at the end when you took the high line, and things just seemed to fall apart from there.
Oh no, the two guys, Landon, and Josh was running with us that race. We were kind of communicating with each other, and I was just trying to help them get in the cash. So it was, I mean, if I was gonna take the win, I would have stayed bottom, but I wanted to kind of help their race result out a little bit too. So the team movement was to go up. So it actually worked out the way we had wanted to because we finished 1, 2, 3. But yeah, that's all it was.
I gotcha. Yeah, it was a great race. McCullough was sitting up there on the outside line too. I'm not sure how the payouts, sorted out. I don't know how many people got paid out, but the 1, 2, 3 was nice. Some good finishes. Yeah, congratulations on the race. It was a I mean, maybe the best race we've seen as far as clean racing goes. You don't usually see that.
Yeah, and I think as you continue to do some of these, and then you kind of see the team dynamic, I think the chemistry up in the booth is going to do nothing but get better and better. But I can't wait to go back and see how you guys called the race and your guys' style. But thank you for coming aboard for this race.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the support.
Yeah, thank you, and once again, congratulations on the race.
Thank you. Just want to give a couple quick shout outs to you guys again for broadcasting, Kenny McCullough for hosting the race. Great job behind the scenes with him and all the admins at McCullough Motorsports. Want to thank all my teammates at Nightmare Esports. Want to thank Wagner's Welding, Icon Apparel Company, and most importantly, I got to thank my fiance for supporting me with all this iRace and stuff. I know she says she tolerates it at best, but I do appreciate that.
Yeah, once again, thank you for the interview, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And I couldn't agree more. I would also like to thank, the McCulloughs for giving us the opportunity for this. I would like to thank James Wagner. He's been giving us some opportunities as well. It was a great race, Luke. What'd you think?
There's really nothing else to say here. Just 40 laps of clean racing, a perfect finish. You really can't ask for much else other than that. As much as I love to see the big wrecks, you got to be happy with the safety of the drivers here tonight. Really impressive driving on display. Except for the end there, they seem to get into it, just have a little bit of fun. But throughout that entire race, extremely clean racing and just some very beautiful driving on display tonight.
All right, and I think we can fit in one more interview before we let go of the viewers. I'm going to go get him right now. Josh Giambrone, what did you think of how that one finished? Staying on that inside line, getting crazy speed there at the finish. Are you happy with how things went?
Yeah, I mean, it turned out great. That outside wasn't working for us for a while, and we finally saw an opening on that inside, and it came with a full head of steam. I mean, it was just two cars for a minute, and we were cooking. And then Joe joined us on the bottom, and we picked up even more.
Yeah, I just shot out of a cannon there on the bottom. I almost missed it as McCullough and Cody were on that top, but I wouldn't be upset if I were them either. How did you feel about that race staying clean for 40 straight laps?
We don't get a lot. Lately it's been kind of a wreck fest and yellow flags every couple laps. So it felt great to finally run 40 straight laps with 2 pit stops, and it felt great.
Yeah, it sure was fun watching it too. Well, congratulations on your finish. Thanks for the interview. Is there anyone you would like to shout out?
Yeah, thanks to y'all for broadcasting, and thanks for MMS for hosting. That's about it.
All right. Thanks once again, Josh.
Yes, sir.
All right, Luke. Well, it's been a fun one. It's definitely been an action-packed 40 laps of MMS money racing. You have any final thoughts on this one?
Again, my final thoughts, I just got to congratulate all the drivers out there for just being as safe as they can be out there tonight. 40 laps without a caution, super impressive. I guess other than that, everybody, thank you all for joining us. This has been Ninth Gear Broadcasting. We will see you all